Hey everyone, welcome to another Historic Brawl video. We're going to be playing Edgar Charmed Groom as our commander. I'm very excited to have this commander in Historic Brawl. He's the white-black commander that we have needed in Historic Brawl in order to play white-black vampires to its effectiveness. Before, we've really had like kind of not so specific vampire commanders that were available before, like Sorin or Elenda or Vona or Kaya the Inexorable. But now we have Edgar, who is a lord and is a 4 mana 4/4 that says other vampires you control get +1/+1, and when Edgar Charmed Groom dies, return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. And when it transforms into turns into Edgar Markov's Coffin, at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white and black vampire creature token with lifelink and put a bloodline counter on Edgar Markov's Coffin. Then if there are 3 or more bloodline counters on it, remove those counters and transform it. So this is actually great for 2 reasons. One, since Edgar is our commander, he pretty much goes over the weakness of this card, which is exiling it or returning it back to hand or putting it back in the deck or something like that. And the commander rule will actually help us avoid that. And if he dies, we don't have to really play commander tax for him because he'll just turn into the coffin, he'll start spitting out vampires, and then he'll come back as a lord again. So I think he's perfect for Historic Brawl. It lets us play those white vampires that we have been wanting to play, mainly Skymarch Aspirant, Legion's Landing, Adanto Vanguard, who is a monster, Mavren Fein, Welcoming Vampire, who's a new addition from Crimson Vow. This is a great card, 3 mana, 2/3 flying. Whenever one or more other creatures with power 2 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. This can trigger off the vampires that Edgar spits out from the coffin. This can trigger from a lot of the creatures in general in the deck, as they have a very low power base in general and will often net us a card when they do enter the battlefield while welcoming vampires on the battlefield. We also have some of the usual suspects in the vampire deck, but for the most part, we just got a couple of new additions from Crimson Vow. I'll go over them right now. So Voldaren Bloodcaster is a 2 mana 2/1 with flying. Whenever Voldaren Bloodcaster or another non-token creature you control dies, create a blood token. And if you create a blood token and you have 5 or more blood tokens, you can transform it. And it turns into a 3/3 with flying that says at the beginning of combat on your turn, up to 1 target blood token you control becomes a 2/2 black bat creature with flying and haste in addition to its other types. So this card starts making the blood tokens that it creates into bats when it transforms, which is great. And it has a very good stat line for what it is already. 2 mana 2/1 flyer is great, and a 3 mana or 2 mana 3/3 flyer is also great when it transforms. So that's perfect. We also have, let's see, Welcoming Vampire, Falkenrath Forebear. 3 mana 3/1 with flying. Falkenrath Forebear can't block. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you create a blood token, and you can sacrifice 2 blood tokens and pay a black mana to return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. I haven't really seen the power of this card yet, but we'll go ahead and find out. I imagine it's not too bad. 3 mana 3/1 flyer that recurs itself is not terrible. We have Markov Purifier. It's a 3 mana 2/3 with lifelink. The beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, you may pay 2, and if you do, draw a card. A lot of the vampires incidentally gain life, so we do get to have a payoff in the card. So very welcome addition. We have Etchings of the Chosen, which is actually a Modern Horizons 2 card from the Jumpstart Modern Horizons in Arena. And it says, as Etchings of the Chosen enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control the chosen type get +1/+1, and you can pay 1 to sacrifice a creature of the chosen type, and target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. So a 3 mana Anthem effect that also incidentally has ability to save one of your creatures by sacrificing another one of them. Very useful, very, very useful. Radiant Destiny is another card that I've been itching to play in white-black vampires this whole time. Great card from Ixalan. It's a 3 mana, also an anthem for a creature type of your choice. When it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type, and creatures you control of the chosen type gets +1/+1. And as long as you have the city's blessing, they also have vigilance. With Ascend, if you have 10 or more permanents, you get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. So it's a great card to throw into vampires, and everything else, it kind of supports Edgar in its aspect, or removes some cards that might be detrimental to our plan. But I'd rather just show you guys, and let's get to it. Alright, we've got a pretty good opening hand here. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I'm going to play as well too. Perfect. So, just start off with a snow-covered swamp. Alright, let's go ahead and throw out the Vampire Interloper. The 2 mana 2/1 that can't block, but flies, which is great for being aggressive early on. Castle Lockdwain for our opponent. We'll go ahead and play this new land, Voldaren Estate. Great card. Lets us tap for any mana for vampire spells or vampire abilities. But for this turn, I think it's probably best that we play Yahenni. He actually has haste, and we're going to be able to smash our opponent for 4 damage this turn. Go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. If we draw a land, we can actually play Edgar Charging to Groom, which would be great. He would provide an anthem effect for both of the vampires that are currently on the battlefield, and we can actually hit our opponent pretty hard if he can land. Oh. Come on. Let's see. So our opponent has a Field of Ruin. Can blow up the Voldaren Estate. Okay. Callous Bloodmage. See what mode our opponent chooses. Draw a card and lose a life. Perfect. Alright. Hopefully we can draw land. Although if we don't draw land, that's okay too. We have Icon of Ancestry and Etchings of the Chosen to fall back on. But we drew the land. Awesome. Alright, well, let's get Edgar Charmed Groom on the battlefield. And let's go ahead and attack our opponent for 6 damage. Opponent gonna chump block? Okay. Opponent down to 14. Let's see. Alright. Opponent drew a tap land for his turn. Could play his commander, Chatterfang, Squirrel General. But if he does that, he's going to be in a load of pain, because next turn we'll be able to play our Icon of Ancestry or our Etchings of the Chosen. Ooh, wow. Okay, Assassin's Trophy on Edgar. So we're going to let this resolve, and we're going to search our library for a basic land. I think we need another swamp. So let's take a swamp. And now, let's decline to move in the command zone because we want his triggered ability to activate, which will turn him into the coffin. So there's the coffin. And let's go ahead and back the turn. There is a coffin. We drew another land, which is great. Now we can play Icon of Ancestry and we can play Etchings of the Chosen, which is awesome. So our vampires are going to be super strong here. We're going to get some really, really buff vampires. Alright, opponent, here you go. And they concede. Good game, opponent. Good game. On to the next one. Alright. Welcome to game 2. And our opponent's playing Catilda, Dawnheart Prime, who is a commander that specializes with humans. So it's humans versus vampires. I don't know if this hand is good enough to actually deal with that. The only reason I would keep this hand is because Murderous Rider can actually take care of Catilda when she comes down. I think I will mulligan. Take my chances. Sure. No white mana, but I'm confident we will find it. That was good. Unclaimed territory can tap for white mana for our vampires. We won't be able to play that Humiliate yet, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and just get it out now. Call Vampire. And let's get our Metallic Mimic down and have it mimic a vampire. So now our vampires can come down with +1/+1 counters, which is great. Concealed Courtyard. That is a perfect win to draw right now. So, I kind of want to just humiliate our opponents right now. I feel like that's probably the best plan. Let's see what they got. So, they can kind of just cheat out Maja. But Sereth is also a problem. I don't think it's as much of a problem as Maja though. Let's go ahead and discard that. And let's go ahead and attack our opponent. Down to 22. Maybe our opponent will just go ahead and just equip the Shadow Spear to Catilda. Or maybe they'll just play Join the Dance. Or... Kinda hard to say. They do have 5 mana available because of Catilda, so... that makes sense. And now they'll have 7 mana available. Sorin. The other Sorin. We could get out Edgar Charmed Groom, or we can also play Sanctum Seeker. I don't like that. I think we are gonna actually just run out Edgar. He's a 5/5. He's gonna turn our Mimic into a 4/3 and let us attack past these 2 1/1s, which we could otherwise just double block. Field of the Dead. Instead. Alright. Let the games begin. Okay. Let's see. So, this is a 4/5 now. What to do? I think I like sending Edgar in. And even if they block, that's okay, because we'll take out Sereth in the process. And on top of that, we'll get the coffin. So, unless opponent wants to just chump block. Oh, they take it. Okay. I think we can actually win if our opponent does not have any lifelink coming up. Because we can actually get Asylum Visitor plus Vito down. And if our opponent doesn't have anything to stop this, we're going to be very, very good in a position to win, actually. So all we'll have to do is activate Vito's ability and then attack. And we'll gain so much life and kill them with the ability. And they'll just lose. Alright. Well, let's do it the cool way. Because this also gives him lifelink too. Alright, Sorin. Let's do it.
I will have revenge for House Markov.
We'll have revenge. Let's see. Alright. Let's get in there. And hopefully our opponent doesn't, like, settle the wreckage us with Catilda mana. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Do we win? Oh my god, this would be the biggest bamboozle ever. Swords of Plowshares. 5, 10, 13. Oh, well. That's not gonna save them. Swords of Plowshares will actually kill. They should have Swords of Plowshares Vito. Oh no, opponent screwed up. Opponent's gonna take too much damage here. Yeah, they definitely should have Swords of Plowshare. Oh, fuck. Goodbye, opponent. Vito ends up killing our opponent. Alright, game 3 of Edgar Charmed Groom, and we're going against Kenrith. Kenrith is definitely a very strong commander. Oof. This is a very interesting opening hand. I don't think we can keep this. Not against Kenrith. So we'll mulligan. This is better-ish. Alright, ooh, that was a great draw. Alright, so let's play Duress first. Find out what our opponent's doing. Okay, Tome of the Infinite, gone. Alright, opponent's gonna ramp up pretty quickly here. Alright, let's play Castle Lockdwain, and let's get the Virginia Sword down. Alright, so our opponent is missing colors of mana though, so we don't have to be too crazy yet. We can actually just start. So we can get out Sorin, minus, and get out Vona or the Hans of Hightower. You know what? The Hans of Hightower on turn 3. Good luck, opponent. Have fun. This is going to be a very interesting card for our opponent to deal with. Good game. Oh my god. Wow. Good job, Sorin. Good job.